Hello and welcome back to another video from Java for Beginners course from Course Labs. In this video we are going to see abstract classes and abstract methods in Java. Data abstraction is one of the core features of Java. Abstraction in Java ensures that only high-level details are shown and the implementation details are hidden. Let's see some examples in Java of how we can use abstract classes as well as abstract methods. Let's create a new Java project. Let's call it mobile 4. Finish. As you can see, a new project has been created. Now let's add a new class file and let's call it mobile once again. Let's call it mobile 4. Fine. Perfect. Now if you notice, we have a class called mobile 4 here, and as we just mentioned, I'm going to make it abstract class. A class can be made abstract class just by adding this keyword abstract right before this particular class keyword. When a class is declared as abstract class, it cannot be instantiated, but it can be extended. So what do I mean by that? Let's see. I'm just going to create public static void main, and I'm just adding this argument, and then if I try to create an object for this mobile 4 class here, as you can see, it's throwing an error, and this particular instantiation is not possible when this class is made abstract. So whenever you want to instantiate this here, you need to remove this abstract class. These abstract classes usually contain one or two abstract methods. So which means a method which is declared as abstract. So let's say make call. So if you notice, I have just declared this particular method as abstract. So what it means is this particular method has to be implemented, or the definition of this particular method has to be written in one of its subclasses. So we can't really write the definition of this particular method right over here. If you try that, it throws an error. As you can see here, it says abstract methods do not specify a body. So what is the use of this? Assume that a mobile phone can make a call. Now if you take a Samsung phone, which is a smartphone, extends mobile 4. So if you take this, Samsung also can make calls because it's a mobile phone, but this particular Samsung, the way you make calls using Samsung is slightly different from a regular phone. So if it is a smartphone, usually you use the touch screen to touch, and by swiping some buttons you can actually make a call using these smartphones. But if you take a normal mobile phone, maybe some old model Nokia, again it's a mobile phone, but when you want to make a call using this Nokia mobile, usually you have to press some buttons physically rather than using some touch screen. You need to use the physical keys to actually make a call, right? So this is basically the difference between the smartphone and the regular devices when we make calls. Now this is where abstract methods usually come into picture. So if you notice, the implementation of making a call for Samsung is different from how we do it in Nokia, and that's where we need different definitions or different method implementations for these two classes. So in this case we can simply use abstract method so that we can have its definition in each of its subclasses separately. So if you notice this error, it says the type Samsung must implement the inherited abstract method mobile4.makeCall. So let's try to implement it here. So I'm just writing add unimplemented methods. If you notice, this method has automatically been generated here. Similarly, we have another error here. So let's fix it by adding the unimplemented methods once again. And if you notice, the method definition has been added here. Now let's write system dot out dot println, and let's add making a call by using the touch screen. Let's also write the definition here for this, but this time making a call, making a call by using the physical buttons. Call button. Perfect. So this is basically what is abstract method, and this is how we use it. So when you know that you need to use this particular method and the implementation is different for each of your classes, then we can simply implement it inside your class like this. Well, now let's add the main method inside this public static void main, and let's add the string arguments. So this is the argument for this main method. And now let's create an object for this Nokia class as well as for the Samsung class here. New Nokia. Let's also create another object, object2 equals to new Nokia, Samsung, and okay. Now let's call this make call method using both the objects that we have just created, and let's see how the output looks like. So this time it's going to be object2 dot make call, and let's see how it is going to look like. Now as you can see, we have created the main method inside this Nokia subclass, and we have just created the two different objects here, which is one is Nokia, another one is Samsung, and we are now trying to call both the methods. Make call is actually from this Nokia method, Nokia class, and this make call is going to be invoked from this Samsung subclass, right? So let's run this and see the output. So if everything goes fine, we should see the output printing these two lines. One is making a call by using the physical call button, because that is what is being invoked first, and then we should also see this line just below that. So let's check it out. Perfect. So as expected, we are just getting this particular line first, and this is what is coming after this line. This abstraction is one of the most commonly used concepts in Android. So when you write Android applications, a lot of times you will come across this data abstraction concept. So now we have just discussed abstract classes and abstract methods. Now there is something that I wanted to add to this particular program. So what if I have another method, let's say void power off. Right, so this time I'm just not going to make it abstract, rather I'm just directly writing the definition here, because in both the cases where I have Samsung as well as Nokia, in both the cases we are going to use a physical button to switch off the device, right? So I'm just writing this system.out.println, and inside this I'm just going to provide shutting down. Right, so now I can actually use this particular method just by extending this particular abstract class. So which means an abstract class can contain both abstract methods as well as non-abstract methods. Right, now the class which is extending this superclass, which is abstract, can make use of both of these types of methods. Both abstract methods, also the non-abstract methods, can be used by the class which is extending this superclass. So let's see an example now. Let's try to call this particular power of method from Samsung object, and let's see if it works. So once again, I'm just creating this object 2 dot, see that, power off, and now I want to switch off this phone using this particular method. So I'm now going to run this and let's see what happens. Perfect. So as expected, we are able to use these defined methods from the superclass as well. So the takeaway from this program is, in this abstract class we have both abstract methods as well as non-abstract methods. This is the reason why when you use abstract classes we achieve partial data abstraction. You are implementing the method definition here, and you are using an abstract class whose method definition has to be implemented in a subclass. It's not complete abstraction, so that's why we call it partial abstraction. In case if you need to have a way where you don't want to write any method definitions here, and if you want to write only declarations, and these methods implementations have to be implemented right in the subclass only, now that's where interfaces come into picture. Now if you want to have full abstraction, you need to go for interfaces. So that's all for this video. In the next video we'll discuss the concept of interfaces. Thanks for watching it. See you in the next video.